Okay, I'm going to work through these 4 problems that we were looking at in the Desmos yesterday. 2 by substitution and then 2 by elimination. And I'm going to start with the y equals 3x minus 1 and 2x plus 4y equals 24. So those are the equations that I'm starting with. So first of all, I know I'm using substitution because I have that y equals. And I can substitute that in to the other equation. So that's going right there. So I'm going to go into the second equation. I am going to take out the y. And using parentheses, I am going to plug in 3x minus 1. And then I'm going to solve that. So that's my substitution step. That's the step that allows me to have one equation with one variable. Now I'm going to distribute the 4. And then I'm going to combine like terms. And then I'm going to solve my 2-step equation there. And then dividing both sides by 14, I'm going to get x equals 2. So that's half my answer. And then I'm going to come into this y equals 3x minus 1. And I'm going to plug the 2 in. And then I'm going to do my arithmetic. And that's the other half of my answer. So 2 comma 5, oops, you can't see that. 2 comma 5 is my answer there. Now, when you're back in Desmos, on the next screen, you're going to match that y equals, maybe, you're going to match the y equals 3x minus 1 with x equals 2 and y equals 5. And that's going to be your first one. Now the next one I'm going to do is this one, y equals 2x plus 1 and y equals 6 minus 3x. That one is also substitution because it's y equals. So y equals 2x plus 1 and y equals 6 minus 3x. So that one is also going to be substitution. And I am going to, it doesn't matter which one I put where, I'm going to take the y from one of them and plug it in to the other one. So this one becomes 6 minus 3x equals 2x plus 1. I need to get my x's together, so I'm going to add 3x to both sides. And then I have a 2-step equation to solve. So subtracting 1. And then dividing by 5. First half of my answer. Whoops. Now I can go into either equation to solve for y. So I'm going to do 2 times 1 plus 1, which is 3. So again, going back to Desmos. Going back to Desmos, this one I'm going to match with x equals 1 and y equals 3. Okay, now the other 2 I'm using elimination for, and I'm using elimination because they are in standard form. So I'm going to start with the one that's x plus 3y equals 7, 2x plus 3y equals 11. Now, you'll notice these are the same. I don't want them the same, I want them opposites. So I'm going to multiply one of them through by -1. So that's going to give me -2x minus 3y equals -11. And then when I line up the other one, I now have that 0 pair that I wanted. So remember with elimination, what we're trying to do is get that 0 pair so that when we add them together, we eliminate one of the variables. And then I add these together. Remember there's a 1 there. Signs are different, so I subtract and keep the sign of the larger. That's 0, so I don't write it. Negative 11 plus 7 is negative 4. And then dividing both sides by negative 1, I get x equals 4. First half of my answer. Then I'm going to use one of the other equations. And I'm going to plug in 4. And then I'm going to solve. So subtracting 4 from both sides and dividing by 3. Second half of my answer. So on this one, going to Desmos again, I am going to match this one here with x equals 4 and y equals 1. Now, obviously, that means that this one is going to match with x equals negative 1 and y equals 2, but you're not going to have that ability on the quiz. So let's show our work for this one as well. So 3x minus 2y equals negative 7. 2x plus 5y equals 8. Okay. So I want to create my 0 pair. This time I don't have ones that are the same or are opposite. So remember what I'm going to look for is my least common multiple. Between 3 and 2, it's 6. So eliminating my x would mean I want 6x and negative 6x. And between 2 and 5, the LCM, the least common multiple, is 10. I'm going to eliminate my y's because those are already opposite signs. So I want to get 10 and negative 10. So I'm going to multiply this one by 5, which is going to give me negative 10. I'm going to multiply this one through by 2, which is going to give me 10. So I'm going to get 15x minus 10y, don't forget to do this side, equals negative 35. And then for the second one, I'm going to get 4x plus 10y equals 16. And now when I add them together, the y's are eliminated. So I'm going to get 19x equals, signs are different, so I subtract and keep the sign of the larger. So 35 minus 16 is 19. And it's going to be negative because the 35 is bigger. Dividing by 19, I get x equals negative 1. First half of my answer, and not a surprise because I already knew that. And then finding the second half of my answer, I'm going to plug that into one of the equations. It really doesn't matter which one. I'm going to use the second one. Fewer negatives. And I'm going to plug in negative 1 for x. And do my arithmetic there. And then solve my two-step equation. So adding 2 to both sides. And then dividing by 5. Second half of my answer. And that is it. So make sure to match them on Desmos so that those are going to show up as correct for you. And this is good review for that quiz as well.